Welcome back to my shop. Today we're gonna, well, I've already done it, but I'll show you how we got into the finish of the Redbud Vase. Really came out nice. So with that, let us continue on in the process. But beautiful piece of wood, beautiful piece of wood, and really came out very nice, I think. So anyway, thanks for watching and hope you enjoy the video. Well, here we go. We're going to see if we can get the Redbud Vase finished up. Had a pretty good crack in it. I think you can see there. I'll show you some pictures of right after. So I was trying to figure out what to do with that crack, and something I tried on another bowl that I think with this color might fit in. I had some brass shavings from a Home Depot key stand, and I mixed those with epoxy and fill them up. But one thing I was concerned about was exactly how to keep it from running all the way through that big crack into the inside of the vessel. So I came up with a brilliant idea. Y'all may have seen this before, but take a balloon, blow it up inside, when it starts coming out, you know you got it filled up, tie it off, and there, that probably can't see it in there, but that'll seal it off so the epoxy won't go any further than the balloon. Well, let me get some of it mixed up, and we'll be right back. This is what the Redbud Vase looked like right after rough turning. So I decided I better soak it in some penacryl, which I did for a number of days. I think probably about 4 or 5 days. And after draining it, I realized it had soaked up, probably an ounce or two of the penacryl. But then when I pulled it out after I thought it had dried, or it is dry, this is the crack that we're dealing with today. What I do is usually just take a bunch of the 2-part epoxy, get a mixing board, and you know, it's 50-50, so you just get equal parts of it. It's going to take a pretty good bit to fill up that crack, so we shall see. Might need to do two fills of this, but anyway, we'll get this all equaled up. It looks about 50-50. And my handy spatula here, and just start kind of mixing it together. Not a whole lot to this. Once it's kind of gelling and mixing, get the handy dandy brass. Try to make it pretty thick. Just kind of throw it in there till looks like you got a nice thick bunch of goo. It's going to come out just right. You get it a little thick with the brass, it's not going to run as much. And when you sand it down and polish it, it gets a pretty good little metallic look. You know, a little something different. Kind of a gooey mess. All right, now just take it and just kind of ladle it in there. Force it down in. The balloon should stop it from seeping in any further than what you want it to. Stuff sands off pretty easily too. And obviously the brass won't mess up your woodworking tools. And you want to get it going pretty quick because this is 5-minute epoxy. I don't know if my 5 minutes is about up or not. All right. And I just kind of keep messing with it till it starts setting up. I got just about the right amount. Got a little wormhole over here. I think I'm going to fill that up too. All right. Well, that's about it. We'll come back when this is dried and we start sanding. Well, it's all kind of set up. Now the one thing I'm curious about, see if the balloon did its job. I guess if we pop it, we can pull it out and see if it has any of the epoxy on it. Well, it doesn't. Oh well, it's a good idea. I guess I made it so thick. It really, well, it did. Yeah, you can, I can see it in there. It got right up to the balloon. I don't think you guys can see in there, but anyway, it worked. I'll see if I can get a picture of it in there. That might work.
This is a shot inside the vessel. I think you can see where the balloon did its job and held the epoxy back.
First thing I'm going to do is put it on the lathe here and true up the tenon. It's been sitting there, and as you can see, that a lot of cracks and things, so I want to make sure I got a good true place to start and hope these cracks don't give me any more trouble. But anyway, this was a Steve Ogle design that I kind of copied, and works really well. So get it chucked up in here, and there we go. Yeah, this thing is, it's gotten out of whack pretty good, but this all holds everything in place, so we should be able to true it up pretty well. Let's see how we're running. Oh yeah. Make sure we're up snug. What I've been liking to use on these is as you can see that, just a 3-corner. It's one of Cabinetti's carbides, and kind of gives me into the corners and can true things up. Pretty good. All right, we'll go with that. Get this thing turned around. Brass is going to show through very nice. All right, I'll get this finished up, and we'll be back for a little sanding. All Alright, we got it trued up, and a lot of the color starting to come back. And just got to get a little sanding done. I'm going to start with about 80 grit and go through the grits. And I've got my exhaust fan hooked up here, which really does a good job of picking up a lot of the dust. So get that turned on. Alright, and here we go. Alright, we got it sanded down to 220, and now I'm going to try a little something I saw in a video, and I forgot the gentleman that was doing it, but he wet sands using naphtha, because it doesn't raise the grain. And here I'm working with 320, and I'll get up to about 600, maybe 1200 with the wet sanding. And it really, well, aside from the fact you get to see what it's going to look like, it really puts a shine on it. So I'll get back to you after I get this wet sanding done, and we'll see where we are. But I suspect all of this brass is really going to start popping out when we get it shined up. So kind of excited to see what that's going to look like. But a couple spots we got it in, and that's going to be a little spalling there. It's going to be really neat. All right, well, let me get this done, and we'll be back in a little bit. All right, I'm just finishing up with 1200. I decided just because of that brass getting it as shiny as I could, I wanted to go as high grit as possible. So nice, as I said, the nice thing about using this naphtha is A, it doesn't raise the grain, B, shows you what you got, gives you a little hint of the finish, and really works out well. And just about ready to stop and take a look at that brass with 1200. Hadn't really seen it yet, but it's really starting to shine up now. Let's see. Oh yeah, I don't know if you can see it in there, but it is starting to kind of come through, and looks right interesting. But I think I got everything, all the marks. But, there it is, and like I said, really starting to look. Let's see, I don't know if I got a bunch of glare on there or not with that light, but yeah, it is really going to have to take a good shine. All right, I'm going to do a little bit of cleanup on the inside now. All right, I'm going to get inside with my scraper. That's basically just a Sorby tip mounted on a 5/8 inch bar, and obviously oak handle. Homemade here in the shop, of course. Little plumbing on the middle there. But anyway, we'll get inside and just kind of clean it up a little bit. All right, I got it cleaned up with the scraper, and I'm going to use my little Sorby unit here with the self-powered head, and I got a little ceramic, trying it out, ceramic sanding disc on there. So we'll get this thing going and kind of clean up the inside a little bit after it's been scraped. Get the corners. This is for all you guys out there with those prying fingers. You know who you are, that want to stick them down in there and make sure that it got finished. So anyway, I'm going to do a little more of this, and just a minute we'll be putting a coat of tung oil on it and see what we got. Now see, I still got a little bit of a nub down there, so I'm using my extension with the power sander on it. Got about 80 grit on there to clean this thing up on the bottom, but that's about all we got to do. Alright, the inside's all sanded, outside's been sanded down to 1200, and that brass is looking pretty good in there, so time to put a little coat of tung oil and see what we got on here. It's always the crowning moment, and oh yeah, that's going to be beautiful. What I like to do is 3-4 coats of tung oil, and then I'll apply a wax finish, or wax it, and putting the wax over. I don't know, I hope you can see that right there, the brass. That makes a pretty neat little inlay. But anyway, I'll be putting on, like I say, 3 or 4 coats of the tung oil, and once that's done, of course I sand with about, not sand, but I wipe it down with 4-aught stainless steel wool in between. But yeah, this is shaping up to just be a nice little piece. So I'll be back when we get it all done, and we'll go from there. Oh, well, got about 3 coats of tung oil on it, and it's all waxed, and hopefully you can see that. It's really looking pretty. The only thing I need to do is turn the base, and we're going to do that right now. All right, got her all sanded up, looking real smooth. Just got to go take this nub off, and kind of like to use a chisel for that. And there we go. But got the bottom all turned out, so let me go take the chisel and get that off, and I'll be back. Once I get the nub sawing off, take my chisel, kind of get out the big parts, smooth it out a little bit before I do a little power sanding to clear everything out. That way it really makes the nub really go away. And here we go. So, seems to be losing its bite. Anyway, a little more sanding and we'll have this all ready. Alright, there we go. Finished Redbud Vase. I'll put a picture or 2 up at the end of the video. But there it is. Got a little gold vein running through it. And Stephen, thank you again for the wood. and I hope y'all enjoyed the video, and please subscribe. Thank you.